In this video I tech a lot about how to use AI to write the code needed to create another dynamic button for your website. Check out the link in the description below to view my last AI created dynamic button video. Here's what I'm going to have AI help me produce. First thing I do is open a web browser and navigate to openai.com. There I log in. If I didn't have login credentials, I would complete the sign-up process first. Once logged in, I tap in the prompt window at the bottom of the screen. This is where I instruct AI as to what I want help in producing. I like to break my project into parts with AI. This way I can make sure AI accurately produces what I want every step of the way. Giving AI too much at once can often lead to the code being incomplete. By letting AI work on one or two pieces of the project at a time, I have found I get more accurate results. I start with the prompt displayed on the screen. I tell AI that I want a button for my web page that says, "Press here." I provide details about the text style and button color. I also tell AI that I want separate HTML and CSS files. This way, I will have a clean project structure with two distinct files. It's worth noting that AI might include the CSS within the HTML document, but I prefer separate files for my web projects. After posting the prompt, I tap enter and AI goes to work. As you see, AI has produced HTML and CSS code for me to evaluate. To confirm that the code does what I want, I copy the HTML code and open Notepad++. Click on the iTechalot link in the video description below for a link to download Notepad++. Once opened, I paste the copied HTML code in a new document in Notepad++. I then save this file as index.html in my working folder. Once the HTML code is saved, I go back to the AI response and copy the CSS code. Returning to Notepad++, I create a new document and paste the CSS code there. I check back in the HTML code and copy the name AI gave my CSS file. I save my CSS file with this name into the same folder where I saved the HTML code. To see what AI has produced, I make sure the HTML file is active in Notepad++ and click on the View option in the menu bar. I then tap the View Current File in Item and select the browser where I would like Notepad++ to display the rendered HTML page. I'm using Firefox as my test platform, so I tap on the Firefox option. Notepad++ opens the web page defined by the HTML and CSS code generated by AI. Here's the preview of the web page AI programmed for me. Now I will add some of the dynamic elements to the button AI helped me create. I give AI its next prompt. I instruct AI to change the button when a mouse hovers over it so that the text is changed as shown. I emphasize the fact that I want AI to use the code it just generated to make this change. After typing the prompt, I press enter and watch as the code is generated for me. I copy the new HTML and CSS code and paste them in Notepad++. I also noticed that AI created a JavaScript file for this feature to be accomplished. I copy the JavaScript code and paste it into a new file in Notepad++. I look back in the HTML file and copy the name of the JavaScript file recorded there. I then save the JavaScript using the name copied from the HTML. After saving my work, I return to my web page, refresh so that I may evaluate the results. Looks like AI did exactly what I asked it to do. However, I see a problem. Even though I didn't ask AI to do so, it decided to make the button color change to white when the text was altered. This is a prime example of the importance of your prompt wording. Since I didn't specify the look of the button when a mouse hovers over it, AI was free to do as it pleased with that portion of the functionality. Though this isn't a terrible issue, it's not the look I am after. So, let's fix this before we move on. To fix this issue, I prompt AI with instructions to use the code it just created to make it so that the button does not change color on hover. I type my prompt, press enter, and AI gives me new HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. I copy the new code and save it in Notepad++. I return to my web page showing my button and tap refresh. Now when I hover over the button, the color remains the same. Excellent. There is one issue I didn't anticipate when I prompted AI to help me with this project. I see that the button grows to allow the text to fit into it as the mouse hovers. I'm not happy with this feature and would like AI to help me fix this. There are two ways to address this issue. First approach is to reduce the size of the text on hover so it fits into the original size of the button. The second option is to make the original size of the button larger so that when the text is changed, the button doesn't grow. I decide to instruct AI to set the original size of the button so that it does not grow on mouse hover. I return to OpenAI and enter another prompt. This time I instruct AI that I want the button to be sized so that when the text is changed the button should not be allowed to grow in size. I remind AI to modify the code it just created to incorporate this change. After AI is finished generating a response to my prompt, I copy the HTML, CSS and JavaScript code it created and paste it back into Notepad++. After saving my work, I return to the web page displaying my button and refresh it. Now my button looks and acts the way I want it to. There is no doubt that any programmer could have produced this button without the use of AI. What I hope this video does is to give people without in-depth programming knowledge the motivation to take on coding projects using AI as their programming partner. Give it a try for yourself and see what kind of dynamic resources you can create for your own web page. Thanks for watching this episode of iTechalot. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future releases.